several questions about illegal immigrants going to Massachusetts state colleges at taxpayers' expense. Do you support illegal immigrants going to Massachusetts state colleges? This one specifically refers to in-state tuition, and this one just generically, do you support in-state tuition for illegal immigrants? Ms. Benson.
Thank you. I do support having in-state tuition for our immigrant children, and we have to realize that only under certain conditions that this would be granted. These individuals would have to have graduated from a high school, a Massachusetts high school, and have lived in the state for 3 years, would have signed an affidavit saying they will remain in the state for a certain period of time in order to pay back into the state economy. They would also have to have a tax ID number in order to pay taxes in the state legally, and to have filed in a permit application for a permanent residency. Now, we understand that this is a very, very, very small number of students. It's about 100 students per year in the entire state that would qualify to do this. So we're talking about very small numbers. The other thing we're talking about is this isn't a free ride. They're actually paying in-state tuition. So it's not that we're paying for them to go to school. They're filling empty seats in the classrooms. It's 100 students over the entire state university system. It's a very small number. Now, projected, if this had begun when it was first proposed back in 2006, between 2006 and 2009, this would have been an increase in the state budget of $2.3 million, additional revenue into the state. So we're not paying for these kids to go to school, they're paying us to go to school. And they're filling seats that are vacant. And they are saying they're going to stay in this state and help pay back into the system. I see this as a win-win for everybody. These are kids who want to be American citizens. They want to work. They move on, and we've seen it time and time again. They become our leaders in medicine and science and industry. So they're our future, just like any other child is. And this is a revenue source for the state as well. So I see it as a win-win.
Thank you. Mr. Hayes?
I guess I'll start where my opponent just ended, that is a revenue issue. It's a win-win for the state. I don't view this as necessarily a revenue issue. It's the matter that people have become here illegally. Their parents came here illegally. There are sometimes consequences to parents' behavior on the children. Ask anybody who has parents in the jail system because their parent broke a law and they're now paying the price. That impacts the children directly. But I am definitely not for providing in-state tuition for the children of illegal immigrants. And again, we got to keep the word illegal in there. And the key is that it's a matter of law. If some private organization, such as a faith-based group, I've heard they're out there, and these faith-based groups that want to provide scholarships or some sort of financial help to these folks to let them go to in-state, to college, let them do that on their own money, but this should not be put on the backs of the taxpayers of Massachusetts. And the other thing that we have to realize is as soon as you start rewarding this type of behavior, we attract more of that to the state. And there's a real impact on illegal aliens coming to this state. They're not just taking jobs that no one else will work. They're driving down wages. They're impacting union workers as well. So again, this is a very clear issue with me. We need law enforcement for those that are here illegally, and I do not support in-state tuition for the children of illegal immigrants.
Thank you. Ms. Benson, 30 seconds.
My opponent is talking about two different things. Whether we're talking about an influx of illegal immigrants into the country, that's a separate issue. These children did not choose to cross the border illegally and come into this country. They're here. They are a part of our schools already. And to say that they're not allowed to have a college education and the impacts that would have on the rest of us is huge. The other issue that you said, you began your answer by saying that it's not an economic issue, but then at the end of your answer you said that this would be on the backs of the taxpayers. And yet we know that this would be a revenue source for the state. So I don't understand how this could be on the backs of taxpayers when we've already established that it would be a boom to the taxpayers.
And Mr. Hayes,
my point on that was that we don't do these, we don't ignore the laws and enforce our immigration laws because of a financial impact necessarily. Now there was one other thing I wanted to point out on this. And again, they aren't here by their own choosing. Their parents made the choice to come here, and there is a consequence. And if we do have these types of laws, we're attracting more parents that are here illegally to come, and we're going to have the same problem over and over. So again, I'm clear on this issue where I am. Jen's clear where she is. This is one of those where the voters have a clear choice on which they believe in.
Thank you.